What's up, guys? Zig here with Faltacunlimited. It's been a few days since I've done a video. I apologize for that. I had no phone for a week, so I didn't film anything. One day, it just stopped working. No idea. Verizon couldn't figure it out, so they sent me a new phone, and, well, here we are. But on that note, it's time to continue building and showing you part of the process. So today, I'm doing a sublimation for a SIG P320 full-size, and never done a print like this, never done anything like this, not even remotely close to this, but I'm looking forward to it. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, we pulled the mold. So we're going to have this right here, SIG 320 full size. It's going to be right hand with a paddle. And I'm going to be using my blocking that I showed in another video for the level 2 strap. So we're going to show that too. But right now, the most important tool to me is my measuring tape, because I want to make sure my print is going to be bigger than my mold. And to do that, I'm going to measure it. Now, I know my print, I'm probably going to do a 12 by 12 just to be safe. So when we measure this, all right, we got 8.5 by 8.5. So a 12 by 12 will be absolutely perfect. I could even scale it down a little bit, but you also got to remember that peaks and valleys will cause it to shrink a little bit. So you're not going to end with a 12 by 12. You end up with like an 11 by 11, but also depends on the height of this. So keep that in mind. But nothing needs to be placed perfectly or aligned. It's not that. The entire sheet's going to be a custom image. So I am actually looking forward to this, which is why I'm going to film it on top of the other orders I got to do. I got out quite a bit recently, and we're just going to keep on trucking. And I got a lot of molds in order from Pale Horse to try and move things along as well. And we're going to keep going. So let's go to the computer. Let's put this in for a 12 by 12 or a 10 by 10 at 8.5. 10 by 10 should be perfectly fine. And I think we're going to rock that. Yeah, 10 by 10 should be fine. Save the ink, right? So let's venture over there. Check that out. So that's pretty wild. The software I use is Vinyl Master Pro 4. It's like $300 something. I use it for my vinyl cutter. So, but this is what I use for everything. So this right here, this box is your work area. And I'm going to put that as just 10 by 10. And that'll... Actually, you know what? The mold itself was 8.5 by 8.5. So let's... the size of the mold, there we go right there. And we're going to put this over it, but there's a lot it's going to cut out. So if I go just a little bit, actually, if I just make this, you see it's 12 by 12 right now. We'll just do that 10 by 10. Bam. There we are right there. So that is what it's going to look like. And that is pretty wild. Oh, here's my Grinch. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going to print, and it should be fun. Now, one thing to remember that when you print, if you want it like this, you have to flip it 180 degrees. If you do it like this, it's going to be 180 degrees off. So this is how the image was sent to me. So this is how we're going to print it. And that, bam, right there. So I'm going to print it 10 by 10, just like that. And it's going to be printed on a Epson ET15000. I should have plenty of ink in there, but I do have more that just came in. And it has a 13 by 19 loaded in the back already. So I'm just going to load it up. Now, it's very important to get your properties and your settings right. So you're going to go into properties, pick the right one, okay? Now, plain paper, bright white. Nope, don't want that. So, premium presentation paper matte, quality high, more options, take off bidirectional print. So bidirectional print is when the scan head goes to the right, it prints, and when it goes to the left, it prints. All right, it can leave smudges doing that. So if you take that off, it only prints one direction, and that's what you want. So we're going to hit OK. Let's see here. Blah, blah. Fine. Now, 8.5 by 11. That's not what we're using. We need 13 by 19. Super B is what I'm using. All right. And portrait landscape. But, oh, there it is right there. And I like to go into it just to make sure nothing messed up, which it didn't. But it's just, you know, double checking. So, bam, bam, bam. Portrait. I can do landscape too. It does not matter. So, OK. everything looks good. Now, one thing I've learned over the years, and every time I've sublimated, let it dry. So stick it in a spot or leave it in the printer, but let it dry, because as soon as you touch anything with wet ink, it's gonna suck. So yeah, let it dry. So I'm gonna set it aside, and we're gonna block this mold and let it air dry. Don't put it in your oven because it's heat transfer. Duh. Now, before we get into actually doing this, my newest blocking came in. So I designed these, nothing major, but it is blocking for the RCS wedge. So if you have an order come through and you have a pale horse split and you need that wedge blocking in there, bam, tape it in there, and you now have wedge blocking for every mold you have. Bada bing, if it has it or not. Also, you can put it directly on top of the molds as well, and these are available on the website. And I have quite a good pile here, and I'll be ordering more shortly. Once I dip below like 10 or something like that, I'll order more. Along with those, I have all the drill guides in stock finally. So I have probably 6 or 7 sets if you want all 4, but I do have plenty of the master drill guide and all the other sizes as well. And if you didn't know, it does, let's see here, it does the speeds and it does the pancake along with the P-style loops, which I don't happen to have on the bench. But anything that has the same as these for attachment wise, then it's going to work perfect. So I do have those listed on the website as well. All right, now, we don't need those. This is all we need right here. We got our blocking. That's going to go here. We got our thumb, which is going to go here, like that, like so. And then the blocking, because this is going to have a paddle. And, ooh, do I have white? Ooh, almost forgot the most important part. White Kydex. So you need to print this on white Kydex to get all the colors vibrant. So first thing I'm going to do is we have to put together this right here, and I'll show you the process I figured out, which is very easy. So obviously the snap ends on this end, and it's going to go around like that. I don't like to see the letters or the numbers, so we're going to do it this way. So the snap is going to go on as this side. Now, take the snap itself with the screw and put that through the hole. Oop. It's obviously going to hold it in. Don't have to worry about it. Then, I like to go with a little bit smaller one because the 1/4 inch is just a little big. So here's a 3/16. Then put your magic blue juice on it. Just get it going, hold it, and bada bing. And in a few minutes, it's going to be set up, and that ain't going anywhere. Now, let's do this. So I want it, so when you grab it, your thumb, it just goes on it, and you can just bam right there, and so close against it. So right there is actually pretty perfect. So let's go, put this over it, lift up slightly, slide that out, put that down, and we know that's going to go right there, and it's going to be angled towards it. So right there looks absolutely perfect, to be honest with you. So I'm going to lock that down. Now, with this, not much to it, because all it is going to be one piece of tape going over it. Now, these I have machined in-house on my CNC. A little design I made, and oh, you saw it in one video. They work awesome. I am going to make these available too. I'm gonna offer these to you guys. So let's see here. All right, and that's it. So, and then also this is getting a paddle. So the way I do this, always grab the gun, and I want it so the belt line is right underneath your grip. So we're going to put the blocking right about there. So we'll put this down. It's going to go right underneath that, which I'm okay with. So I'm going to try and get it in the center a little bit, which means I'm going to have to do some sort of blocking right here just so it goes down, which is no problem. So, because I can't move it to the side, but I don't want to. So we're going to put it right about there. So we got roughly in the middle of the holster. So we'll do that. And gonna block underneath it because we don't want something there. So I'm gonna grab a piece of wood and we're gonna cut that. You know what, guys? We're gonna scratch that. Looking at it, it's actually gonna sit here, the lowest, and that's way low. So it's gonna go, it needs to go right where that's sitting. So it needs to go right there. And put that above it. That's where it needs to go. And then put that right there. That should work perfectly fine. Oop. There we go, just like that. So, I could take this off. I want that there. Might have to go old school route on this one, which is no big deal. As in flat blocking to move it over. Actually, watch this. Bam. We'll do that. And that gets us where we want. And that gets us on top of here. And that gets us everything, yeah, everything we need to do. So bada bang, right there, right there. Yeah, that's fine. Nope, okay. So let's try this again. All right, I think we have a winner there. Let's see, that is sitting there. It's gonna be good. We got a grip here, and that's gonna be up there. Oh, look at that! Oh yeah, okay, all right, I'm happy with that. So it's a good thing I took a second look at it. Now, with that in place, right about there, this is gonna come around and be like that. So I'm not going to put the thing all the way down here. Actually, not half bad. So we'll throw that right there. So that's going to go just like that. I'll be okay with that. Match the rear. I'll lock that in place. Tonight is a night I'm second guessing myself. Let's see here. Oh God, there should be plenty. Should be plenty where it is. All right. Lock that down. All right. And let's see here. This is going to cause a problem. Because Kydac's going to get sucked under it, and then we won't be able to get it out. So, looks like a job for... All right, fine with that. Okay, let's get the image. This I'm going to do at a 12 by 12. 12 inches is right here. Now you have the option to tape the print to it so it doesn't move, but if you're careful, you don't have to worry about that. So, I already cleaned off the Kydex, cleaned off this, and what I'm going to do is just throw it on top of each other. You're going to do print first, facing up, and then the Kydex upside down, and then close it. I have mine set to 390 degrees for 380 seconds. So I'm going to lay this in here. Do a quick off with that. Throw that right in the center. Rest is up to God. Now I'm going to turn my attention to the mold. I got to get that in here, get the fence set up, and I'm going to turn my lasers on because it'll help us. I only do this when I'm using the laser, so the mold does not move on me. All right. All right. There it is. Now we wait. That's awesome. Well, as you can see, the 10 by 10 was perfect. I got like, God, not a lot of room, so about a 1/4 inch on each side. Back. Oh, awesome. I will take that. Look at that. That looks schmexy. And I got all the colors in that I wanted. Looks good. Can't even tell what it is. And it wasn't too bad getting everything out, so that means we did a good job, you know, doing what we had to do. So let's mark out where we're drilling. And then, luckily, trim jig. Gonna be a quick one. Look how perfectly, see that right there? Like it was meant to be. You can't get any better than that. So let's mark that. And then I have to mark this right here. and clean your holes. You gotta see that small ring of white or whatever color you do this on. All right, we're gonna do this last. And I'll go in a little bit more detail on how I do that slot, because I do that slot by hand. And for some reason it amazes some people. But you do something enough, you can get pretty good at it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, let's trim it. This is really boring. All I'm doing is I'm gonna cut it out on the bandsaw and then move to the scroll saw to cut this out, and then, oh, you'll see some of it. Oh, yes, Daddy. All right. Now, let's do the buffing. Bada bing. All right, for this is simple. Grab your strap, grab your mold, or your holster, and this is just a regular router bit on a Dremel, made by Dremel, right? So, what you're gonna do, it's be scary your first time, so definitely think about, or actually you need to practice. So okay, so what we're gonna do is right here, this is gonna be sliding in, so you only want to go just as wide. You want a tight fit in there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna start in the center, and as soon as you thrust through it, it's gonna want to move, so you're gonna want to stop, pull out, and then go up, come back, and then go down, and then we're gonna clean up the edges. So this is how I do it. Test fit. Okay, gotta go a little bit wider. I'm happy with that. And I'll take this. Clean up the edge. And that's what it's going to look like freehand. Here's close up. A little bit of burrs, no big deal. You could take a small file and take those out, which is a hobby file like so, and you just take those burrs out. You don't have to, you'll never see them, but you can if you want to. But that's, yep, by hand. All right, next step. Next step in this process is going to be to fold it. So we got the glue gun, we got the mold, or the holster, and so we're going to fold it up. Just heat up the sight channel, fold it over. You guys know how to do this. I don't need to show you. But we want to do that before we drill the holes for the final resting place. Now, we might cut these or cut it off and trim it, but we'll see. We don't know until we get there, and we want to fold it first before we make that assumption, because you might have to do this again. Now, if you don't sublimate in-house and you mess this up, then what you have to do is you have to order it, which means 3 days in the mail, day to process, you know, and then you getting it, and then if you mess up again, you got to do that. So doing sublimation in-house is probably one of the best investments I've made with this company, to be able to do everything here. So there's no second guessing. There's a lot of learning, so you throw out a couple things, but it's a lot easier. Now, also, while I'm on the subject, on my website, I've had it up for a while, is you can actually purchase the paper themselves. So if you have a heat press, I will literally sell you this piece of paper and you could press it at your house. At the time being, I'm not doing custom stuff because I'm not going to sit down and be a graphics designer for a little bit. I'm trying to get all the orders out. So for now, I have like topographic on there and a few other things. So, and as I build my library of this, then I'm going to do that. So I could probably add this on there. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to Google to see what this is called. The girlfriend knows. I have no idea. But if you are looking to get into sublimation, but you don't want to spend the astronomical amount on the printer, that printer was like $600 or $700. The ink is like $40 or $50. Is it the most expensive one? No. Is it the cheapest one? No. You can get different ones as well that work, but in my experience, the more you spend, the better it works for you and the better quality and everything. So I got about $800 or $900 into that printer, and well, as you can see, it kind of speaks for itself right here. So you don't have to do the sawgrass or anything like that. That's just a regular Epsom ET 15,000, I think it was. So, yeah, you might be able to find it cheaper, $400 or $500. Like I said, I paid like $6 or $7 for it. So, on that note, yeah, you can get just the prints. I'll keep adding what I have onto the website as I go. It's quick. But like I said, I'll print it and ship it, and then you press it in your home. You have to have a t-shirt press to do it. You also need to test on scrap pieces because you can completely melt the paper to the Kydex, or you can completely just destroy the Kydex. So you're going to have to dial in yours. On my machine, it's 390 degrees for 400 or 380 seconds. Sometimes I do 360, depending on how it goes. But this came out at 399 or something like that, and pretty good. So I'm going to fold it. I'll be right back. It helps if I grab the folding tool. Honestly, at the moment, this kind of has to be one of the best looking holsters. This is really cool. I'm enjoying this. So let's continue. I'm gonna clean it real quick with some Rem oil. We're gonna get that shine back in it. And actually, at this point, it's adding hardware and potentially cutting the rubber. So, and if you didn't know, probably did, that rubber is available at Holstersmith under the level 2 thumb straps. So I get the rubber with, there's two options. There's Polidot, and then there's another one. So I do the first one I see. I don't remember what it is, but I've always used it. It works great. And here is a cleaned holster. Let's get hardware in it. It actually comes with hardware. I very rarely use this hardware. If you notice, it doesn't have the slots on it. I like to do slots just in case you have to take it apart with the Loctite, because otherwise it doesn't work. But I never use that hardware. I like to use the hardware that comes with the Ulti clips, minus the rubber. I don't need any rubber. All right, so let's get some stuff going. Let's see here. Whoops. Let's see if 1/4 inch posts will fit this. See, it's a little high. A little high means it's not going to sit right. So we're going to move down to 3/16. Let's see where that sits. That's going to sit beautifully. And before we add any Loctite, I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here to make sure this combination isn't hanging out too far. But the blocking is so high up, even if it is, it's not going to touch it. So I'm actually okay with that. We can go a little bit shorter, but that's nice. Okay. You know what? Let's go shorter because it's going to bother me anyway. All right. These are 0.312 instead of 3/16. I'm going to get the magic blue juice on here. Always get all your hardware in before you tighten everything up. Something my dad taught me growing up, like doing a rector set or connects or anything like that. And next step, we can do retention if we want. So let's go ahead and we'll just do that. Get everything else set in motion. Those are 1/4 inch slotted posts, 1/4 inch rubber, and these are 0.4375 screws. this in. Okay. So this guy in as well. And, oh yeah, actually it's going to work out. Slide that in. All right, so we're going to be right around there. See how tight I can get that. All right. We'll go ahead and mark our slots. And drill those. And you definitely want to clean the inside because it's got to be sitting flush in there. And there's a little bit of a process to do this as well. Okay, so we're going to slide that in. Okay. I'm going to take the screws, put those in. Take your magic blue juice. Get it on those screws. And then go ahead and tighten the hardware. And quarter inch, sorry. And these are 1/4 inch. Get our paddle here. Look at that. I think it was meant to frickin' be. Alright, so there's the paddle, and as you can see, right underneath, a grip, and there we go. I'm going to move that ever so slightly. Hopefully that didn't adjust. Yeah, it didn't. Cool. Go up with it. There we go. Bam. And then once that slides in, bam. There we go. That looks pretty damn good. Right hand outside the waistband on a paddle. Level 2 thumb strap with the Shagadelic cheetah print. Well, I gotta say, this holster came out absolutely awesome. It is heading out to Illinois in the morning. It is about 10:30 at night Tuesday. And, well, I got some more stuff to do. I gotta get this video uploaded and edited and have some fun doing all this. But again, that came out awesome, and I hope she enjoys it. So, I'm gonna move on to the next one. And again, if you guys want to grab some of your blocking and all that stuff, I actually just got a fresh batch of material to make light widgets. So I got light widgets coming up on the CNC, which means a full day of very loud noises. And now that I have a working phone, it's a lot easier to deal with. So on that note, huge shout out to Holstersmith and Knife Kits. They provide all the material that I use in these videos. And well, it wouldn't be where I am without them. So if you're going on their website and you order a bunch of stuff, just tell them I sent you. And have some fun building and see what you could come up with. So, and I am probably add this print to the online option so you guys can order that print as well. So on that note, I'm going to do some more work, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Oh, keep moving forward.